Hey everyone, it's Michael with MTS4K here to do another video review. Today I'm going to be discussing the Viture One XR glasses and my experience using them with the variety of different accessories that they sell. Now, me personally, I did not totally love my experience with these. I thought there was a lot of bugs and things, and also the price total combined with everything that I wanted to use it with was way too much for what I think they can do. But there were some cool experiences I wanted to share with you guys and kind of let you know what I think of this tech, at least where it is right now, regarding the Viture One XR glasses. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so let's get into it. First things first, I want to talk about some of the positives of using this before I get into a lot of the negatives, because it kind of was a lot. So let's focus on the positives first. They are a really unique experience. I gave them to my wife to try, and the first thing she said was like, wow, this is insane. This is really cool. And I tried them on and I had the kind of opposite reaction. I'll get into that more later. But when you first put them on, it is kind of unique because you put them on and the headset itself does not have any power. You have to plug it into another device, and that device is what controls what the glasses will see, what they'll project, and let them do anything. So first things first, when I use these, I did go ahead and plug them in and I hooked them up to the neck band, which is an accessory that's sold separately. We'll talk about that in a minute. When you get them plugged in, one of the first things that I noticed that I loved and I thought was so cool, and not all XR glasses do this, is the electrochromic lenses. So you can click a button on the glasses themselves and the lenses will darken or lighten depending on what you want. So if you want to watch a movie and like a much better immersed experience, you click the button, boom, it's much darker behind the lenses. And then if you want to talk to somebody or see something, you know, whatever it is, you click it again, boom, it lightens it again so you can see what you want to look at before you make it back dark again. I pretty much only use these when they're dark, but it's cool that you can switch between them. There is a volume button and a brightness button built in. It does default to always adjusting the brightness first when you turn them on, which is kind of annoying because I always maxed out the brightness, but I did find myself adjusting the volume levels, so that's something to keep in mind. But the glasses themselves, like the overall build quality, the experience, they fit really well. I thought they were pretty comfortable. They actually have kind of like an extension thing, so if you have a bigger head like me, they will kind of adjust to fit you. I did find it giving me a headache after a little bit, but I think for your average person with a smaller head than mine, it'll probably fit fine. I really did like that. I thought the speakers sounded pretty good. They're not like jaw-dropping, you know, definitely prefer my AirPod Pros if I wanted a fully immersed experience or anything else, but it was kind of cool that they even had that at all. When combined with the neck band, that made it awesome as well. So the projected image was pretty good. It does have that interpupillary distance adjuster, so you can kind of find exactly what the perfect focus is for your eye distance and everything, so I'm very happy with that. But outside of that, yeah, projected image was great. I didn't really have any issues with the color, the contrast, the brightness. I thought everything was fine with that. The overall experience of using it as a projected image was really good. To talk about some of the specifics of the things that I thought were awesome, the best use case that I found for this was using this with my Steam Deck LCD. Not the OLED. I really like the Steam Deck OLED by itself because it has a 90 hertz refresh rate, and obviously the OLED display versus these only having a 60 hertz refresh rate. I did prefer using my Steam Deck OLED by itself, not with these glasses. But for my Steam Deck LCD, using it with the glasses was great. It was also pretty cool using these with my iPhone. It was pretty cool. There were a couple bugs. There was definitely some things they need to work out, and obviously the amount of attachments and, you know, things I needed, accessories to make it work with my phone was astounding and expensive. But using it with my phone was really cool. You put the headphones on, you run the cable to the one accessory, and then the accessory plugs into a different one, and that one's the lightning cable that plugs into your iPhone. If you have an iPhone 15 or newer, you have a USB-C, so you don't have to worry about that. But for me, I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max, so I did have to buy all those accessories. But once you plug it in, it's really neat because what it first does is it mimics your iPhone screen to the display. Your iPhone will pop up, or I'm assuming Android will probably do the same thing. It'll pop up with something that says something like, I need to download, like downloading firmware to use this device, whatever it is. And then when you actually use it, it just screencasts immediately to the glasses like an external display. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like if I'm watching a movie, my iPhone would recognize, oh, hey, external display detected, and my phone would stop showing the movie and would just project it to the glasses. That was really great. When you use the mobile app, the Spacewalker app by Viture, that was really cool because you put the glasses on, you have your phone paired and everything, but then your phone becomes essentially a VR laser guider. So you're wearing the glasses, you have this projected image, and you can like look around and it extends the image in different directions. So it's bigger than what you can actually see, which is really cool to me. And then your phone is the selector. So you point here, click, point there, click, and you just click with your phone to select things. And there's a laser shooting out of your phone in the XR experience that lets you pick different apps. Very, very cool. If I was just gonna buy these only to use my phone, I think it would be a really cool experience. And I definitely think that's very enjoyable. Like I really, really liked it. I did have some bugs with it, I'll talk about in a minute, but overall using with the phone was actually the most mind-blowing part of the whole experience. Really, really enjoyed it, so I think I definitely recommend it just for that. But now, let's get into some of the negatives. So, the biggest negative for me, first off, is the price. So these, if you get these when they're not on a sale, it's $440. Then, if you want the neckband, which is a very, cozy way to use these, where you put the neckband on, you connect it to the glasses, and boom, you're all set up, you're ready to go. If you want to use the neckband with the glasses, the neckband's another $180. So now, now that's getting up there. Like at $440, you're already like, oh, should I get a Meta Quest 2 or PlayStation VR 2? But then when you add the neckband, it's like, okay, now we're really getting up there. And then if you want to use it with an iPhone, if you want to use it with any iPhone that's a 14 series model, whatever, or older, you have to buy 2 attachments. You have to buy one attachment that actually is like converts the USB-C to HDMI and USB-C for the iPhone. And then you have to have a second attachment for the iPhone that's actually like that HDMI and USB-C to Lightning to plug that into your phone. And it's $108, I think, or $105 for those 2 accessories total. So it's like $45 and then $60 or $70 for the Viture One. It was seriously like crazy how expensive that is just to connect it to your phone. The app experience was really cool and was hands down the best part of the experience. So I think, $440 for this, and then another $110 for the accessories to use it with your iPhone, or no accessories if you have an iPhone 15 or an Android phone with USB-C. I think it's definitely more worth it in those cases. But spending $500+ for this to use it with your phone, I don't know if the experience was totally worth that. So that's just something that I really didn't like. Also, another thing to keep in mind with this is not only is there all these other accessories, there's also a bank you have to buy. It's like it's a portable display base. I forget what the actual term is. They have this base that if you want to use it, for example, with your Switch cannot just plug into these glasses like the Steam Deck can. You have to use this separate display like base. You plug your glasses into the base, which also happens to provide battery for the glasses and battery for the Switch. And then you have to plug your Switch into that, and it's just like, okay, now you're getting to like, I'm carrying my Switch, I'm carrying this base, and I'm carrying the glasses, and then if I want to use the neckband, I'm carrying the neckband, and then if I want to use it with my phone, I have to carry 2 other accessories. It really starts to add up and up and up with each thing that you buy for this, which is kind of crazy. So using it with the Switch was fine. So I went back to shoot some footage of the Nintendo Switch being used with the mobile dock and the glasses, and something weird is happening where for some reason now the Nintendo Switch Joy-Con only work if they are not connected to the Switch. The second I plug the Nintendo Switch into the mobile dock, both Joy-Cons stop working, and as soon as I take them off the Switch and I'm using them wirelessly, then they start working again. So I have no idea what's up with that, but just want to mention that is probably not ideal if you're trying to play this in a semi-portable space, having to set the Switch down somewhere else next to the dock and then hold both Joy-Con. Don't totally love that. It was like using a Switch. I mean, if you have an OLED Switch, I think it's going to be the same thing as the Steam Deck. It's probably better to just use your Steam Deck or your Switch instead of using these. I don't think the display size warrants the price of these when you're using them. So yeah, first thing I want to bring up, I think the price is too high. The total for all the accessories that I purchased to use it with my iPhone, my Steam Deck, my Switch, and the neckband, I think was over $900. For that price, I mean, gosh, buy a PS5 and a PS5 VR2 and play that instead. It's gonna be a way cooler experience than this is. So yeah, and way less buggy too, I might add. So anyway, a lot of money. I don't think it's worth it for the price, but the experience was pretty cool. Now for some of the other cons. So one of the biggest cons that I really noticed with these was just buggy experience. Like you could, for example, whenever you want to look anywhere, your display stays in the center of your vision. So like if if I'm watching a show and my kid talks to me, right? I can't see my kid through the video and through this giant thick like lenses that are here. They're not very see-throughable. So I'd have to take it off or look down at them like this anytime I wanted to see anything, which isn't a great experience. So I didn't really love that. I don't think, I mean, just for like general bugginess, one of the things that you can do is you can lock your vision and your projected image in place. So when you're wearing the glasses, you lock it in place. I look over here, no projected image, everything's fine. I look back, projected image, right? You'd think that would be really cool. I would love that. That's how I literally watch movies on, on the couch when the kids are watching their show. I'm watching my show, like just on my phone. As I look over at my phone, I look over at the kids and I look over at my phone. But with these, it's weird because the projected image is obviously going to be exactly the same size as what the glasses can show you. So when you lock it in place, if your head is not exactly perfectly aligned with where the image is that you locked it in, it'll cut off the little corner or cut off the top edge or cut off something. It just doesn't, it's like it's trying to, you have to yourself perfectly align the vision with where it's locked in place. And I just found that to be really difficult and frustrating. And I always had content getting cut off and it just kind of drove me crazy. So that was not a great experience. That wasn't beta, but I would not have ever used that. Like it was so bad. Other bugs I noticed when I was using it with my phone, there were several times where it would just completely go black for a second and then pop back in again, or go black and then show up again. And then one time I was just watching White Collar on my show. I really love Neil Caffrey and the TV show White Collar, and I'm just watching it and then boom, I can't see anything. I can hear it through the headset, but I can't see anything. It just stopped working and I had to unplug it, plug it back in. And every time you unplug the glasses from the power connector, they completely turn off. So I then had to readjust my sound, make sure the brightness was maxed out, turn on the electrochromic lenses again. Like it was an annoying hindrance that happened more than once. So that's definitely something I want to report, just a buggy experience with that. One other experience I wanted to mention with these that I think was a really poor experience, it could have been cool, but it wasn't, is the neckband. So I'll put this on while we're here. It obviously looks kind of insane. The neckband was a really cool idea for me because I really like the thought of carrying around two things with me and that's it. No accessories, no phone connections, no other cables, literally just the neckband that connects directly to the glasses and then the glasses themselves. That seemed like a really awesome experience. And the neckband itself is like pretty well designed, pretty durable. It folds up to be very compact. Like I was very happy with how small it could get, but it was not a really cool experience. So it's running a version of Android, right? And I found that almost nothing worked the way I hoped it would when I connected this headband to the glasses. So first things first, the headband itself is pretty cool. It's got buttons. It has a home button. It has volume control. It has a bunch of other things. It has a settings button. It has everything, like all these different buttons you want. It has built-in speakers. It has fans to keep the headset or the neckband cool. And you can actually go in and turn the speakers to silent mode, which will make it get warmer. Not too warm that I noticed, but it was fine. It had a lot of different things, but the stuff that you mainly use it for didn't work. I paired it with my Apple account. Literally, I went to the App Store on this device. There have like arrow keys, right? And you click your way through. I clicked my way to the App Store, opened the Apple app, installed it, and then signed in. And there was a thing where it's like, go to this website and type in this code. So I went to that Apple website. It was like, it seemed very authentic, whatever. It seemed very reasonable. Went to the website, paired it to my phone, and boom, all my movies and TV shows that I own showed up on the headset and I'm watching my shows on there. And it was really cool. I was really happy about that. I was watching Community, I think. And that was cool until the next day when I went to use the headset again and I opened the Apple TV app and it had disconnected from my account again. I was like, that's really weird. It was like, yeah, sign in. And I was like, I already signed in though. And then I went to Apple's like website to disconnect my iPhone because I was like, it seemed kind of fishy that it had already disconnected and I felt kind of awkward with that. So I went to go remove it from my list of devices so it couldn't access my account stuff anymore. And Apple warned me, hey, you can remove this, but it already connected once. If it re-authenticates again, it will reconnect to your account. The only way to remove this is to change your password. which is really weird. So then I went in and changed my password for my whole Apple ID account, which is super great. And now my watch doesn't work because it hasn't synced it. And I've tried 10 different ways to make it connect and it hasn't. So gonna have to reset my watch, my Apple Watch Ultra later today, which is super fun. But yeah, it just stopped working. I was like, that's so weird. Like I signed in the account, it's working. 24 hours later, it's not working. I didn't reset them. I didn't do anything. So that was just really odd. One thing I did want to mention here is in a lot of the Viture's marketing material for these glasses, they market them as game anywhere with PlayStation and Xbox and cloud streaming and all this stuff. But the apps that they say these are certified to work with, they are not official apps for Xbox or PlayStation. They're both third-party applications made by a random developer that you have to sign in with your Sony account or your Microsoft account, and then it does some kind of weird back-end stuff to be able to let you kind of stream your games to the headset, but then you have to find a way to get a controller paired with the headset through Bluetooth or whatever. It's kind of the biggest hassle ever, and it's all not official or officially supported by PlayStation or Xbox, so I absolutely do not recommend using this or buying these to use this. I think it's a security risk, if anything, putting your password in a third-party app like that. So I just wanted to mention that. They push that pretty heavily in their marketing materials, and I don't think that is any reason to buy this. In addition to that, it's just some of the experiences with the headset were weird. I found that sometimes when I'm like, if I was like sitting on a couch or laying down, like the cable would sometimes pop slightly off the glasses, which is enough to disconnect it from the glasses, which would make the glasses turn off and stop working again. And then I'd have to connect it again, adjust the brightness and adjust the electrochromic lenses and the sound to where I want it again. It just wasn't that great of an experience. So the neckband for $180 is like the worst part of this, which is really disappointing because I hoped it would be the best part. I definitely don't recommend ever using the neckband. As for using these glasses with the Steam Deck, I think it was really cool, but it wasn't as great of an experience as I was hoping, and I found myself not planning to ever use them again with the Steam Deck. So let's get into why that is. When you're wearing the glasses project an image that is, a pretty good size. It's, like a laptop size looking screen just floating in front of your vision, and that's it. But that screen size, when you're looking at something closer to you, it's relatively sized. So when you're looking at something really close to you, like your desk or, whatever, a wall, whatever it is, another couch, something, if that object is relatively close to you, the screen looks really small. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches across or something, right? Like it looks really small. But if you're looking at like a wall really far away or the ceiling or something like 6, 10, 12 feet away, whatever, then it's like, whoa, look at how big this movie is. It looks huge, but it only looks huge because it's looking further away from you than it actually is, right? So I found that at least using it with the Steam Deck, normally when I game on the Steam Deck, I'm just gaming like this, right? Or I'm gaming from my couch, whatever. When I put the glasses in, I thought the screen was like only slightly larger. It wasn't substantially larger to me. It was just, it felt slightly larger. And then because I was using it with a Steam Deck OLED at the time, I was downgrading my experience from a 90 hertz display to a 60 hertz display, which I didn't want to do either. So it was fine. It worked with the Steam Deck fine, but I definitely will not ever use it with my Steam Deck OLED because I like the OLED 90 hertz refresh rate better. Also, it drains the battery a little bit faster because your Steam Deck is now powering the glasses. So that's something to keep in mind too. I think it would be definitely more useful with like a Switch where the screen's even smaller. Even like a Switch OLED, I think it'd still be worth it because I think these are micro OLED displays on these glasses. So that's kind of something that is nice at least, but I would probably only recommend this for like an LCD Steam Deck or maybe using it with your phone. I did try using this with my MacBook and it worked fine, but again, like I have an M series MacBook Pro, so there's no reason to use this because that has like a way higher refresh rate. It still has a really great display, like a much higher resolution display. It's a bigger display in my opinion than the glasses. Like when I'm using my MacBook, right? If you project the image, my MacBook screen is almost bigger than the projected images because of, how where it is to me. So it's just something to keep in mind. I don't think that this is really useful in that case. I think this is really just useful for phones or devices that maybe don't have the best screen ever, like an LCD Steam Deck or Nintendo Switch, something like that. All right, so to sum everything up, I think the Viture One XR glasses are cool, but I think that their price to performance ratio is not that great yet, and I think that they are a very buggy experience. I don't think that these are worth $440. You can get any other VR headset on the market that'll give you a much more unique experience and much more polished experience for less than $440. Right now, you can go buy a Meta Quest 2 from like Costco or anywhere else, and then you can literally just like play games on it. You get controllers, you get everything you need, and this one it's like $440 and you just get the headset, and the Quest is like $280 or $300. Like, I think the price to performance ratio on these is not very good right now. I also think that the amount of accessories you need to use them with the devices that you really want to use them with, like with a Switch or with my phone, for me was too expensive. I don't want to spend $110 on accessories to connect it to my phone when I already had to buy the glasses for $440. So if the price to performance ratio were to get better, if the price were to go down on these substantially, like almost half, I would consider buying these for myself for personal use, but at this current state, I don't think I would. Also, I think that this experience was rather buggy with the disconnections and the stopping of the video quality and it automatically logging me out of my Apple account after 24 hours, even though I wanted to watch my shows on the headset, which is why I connected it in the first place. To the neckband, I just think the experience was too buggy to be worth it at this price point. I think, you know, at this price, you know, especially with all the accessories and the base station, if you want to use it with the Switch, you know, if you're looking at $900, go buy an iPad, right? Like, you could buy like an iPad Pro 11-inch for $900, or like a MacBook. Like, it's not worth it to buy these just to watch movies on a slightly larger display than your phone, when you can go buy an iPad that's going to be able to do 1,000 other things, or go buy like an Android phone. Like, you can get a Samsung folding phone for that price if you trade in your old phone. It's so much more worth it than these glasses are right now. So anyway, that's my recommendation on these. Personally, I probably won't be getting these for personal use. I just don't think they're worth it right now. But if you guys have a pair of Viture One XR glasses, tell me what you think. Or if you've tried the InReal Airs or the InReal Air 2s, you know, let me know what you think of those. I've seen a lot of reviews on those, and so far I've seen pretty similar reviews to what I've said about these glasses here. But yeah, just let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say on these. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you around.